Hello. This time, I will introduce Hiroshi Mori's book, What is Omoshiroi? Interesting? How to Live Interestingly. This book is one that deeply explores the word omoshiroi, a term everyone uses often in daily life, but which is actually very profound. The author, Hiroshi Mori, was originally a university professor, but is currently active as a writer. As a novelist, his work is creating many interesting stories. What is written in this book is not so much a database analysis or detailed consideration, but rather a frank discussion about omoshiroi through his own experiences and thoughts. Mr. Mori says that he is not the type of writer who churns out bestsellers. He says this is because what many people find interesting often differs from what he himself finds interesting, so he writes by groping for what he thinks everyone will likely find amusing. As a professional creator of interesting things, he attempts to approach the true nature of omoshiroi through its difficulty and his own feelings about it. Now, in this book, omoshiroi is considered to have broadly two meanings. One is interestingness in the sense of funny, meaning something laughable. This is the feeling you get when you laugh watching Menzai or Reikugo, or burst out laughing at someone's words or actions. This often arises, it is said, when there is a slight gap between reality and expectation. However, what is funny varies from person to person, and there is also the difficult aspect that you might stop laughing once you get used to it. Making people laugh is much more difficult than making them cry or angry, he says from a writer's perspective. The other is interestingness in the sense of being engrossed or attracted to something. It's a word used when you are absorbed in one thing, or when your intellectual curiosity is stimulated. For example, when challenging a difficult math problem or puzzle, or when a detective confronts a difficult case, people might say omoshiroi with a serious expression. This is the aspect where using your head, or learning and thinking about new things, is interesting in itself. In particular, novelty that has not been experienced before is considered a very important factor in feeling interestingness. Unseen developments, unexpected events? These are the things that attract our interest. And feeling something is interesting is ultimately said to lead to satisfaction. The sense of accomplishment when solving a difficult problem, or the joy when things turn out as imagined? Realizing a state of it would be nice if this happened is the satisfaction at the root of interestingness, and the author calls this freedom. He also touches upon the recent tendency for empathy to be emphasized in things considered interesting. He points out that the phenomenon of feeling interestingness by aligning with the evaluations and emotions of others, such as everyone says it's interesting, so I feel that way too, or everyone is crying, so I'm moved, has spread through the internet, not just through empathizing with characters in a work. However, he warns that this can also lead to losing sight of true interestingness. It's important to value one's own feelings, not just trends or reputations. Furthermore, although modern society is overflowing with interesting things that are easily available, he also says that truly interesting things are actually not easily obtained. It's the same as feeling value more easily for things obtained through effort or accompanied by a sense of accomplishment. Things that are easily perceived as interesting tend to be quickly tiresome. Moreover, what is particularly impressive in this book is the relationship between solitude and interestingness. He points out that as people become adults and age, they naturally become more solitary, and that interestingness that cannot be enjoyed without someone else is difficult to maintain. What is truly felt as interesting should be enjoyable alone, even in one's natural state, he says. He strongly recommends hobbies that one can be absorbed in alone, such as reading or creating something, stating that they can be a source of lasting interestingness throughout life. The perspective is presented that modern society is moving in a direction that supports living alone, and that solitude is by no means a bad thing. In conclusion, while exploring the diverse meanings of the ambiguous word omoshiroi, this book conveys the message that it is rooted in personal experience and feeling, and that truly lasting interestingness is not easily obtained, but is born from within oneself, planned, and built up through effort. This contains a philosophy connected to the author's own way of life, which can be found not by imitating someone else, but by drawing one's own blueprint and steadily giving it form alone. Perhaps, what you usually find omoshiroi or what omoshiroi you want to find in the future may be seen from a different angle by reading this book. Please do pick up the book and think about your own omoshiroi. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a high rating. Well then, let's meet again in the next video. May your life become better.